So how's it going?
Oh, fine.
It's hugely busy. Rory Bremner, great to meet you.
Hello.
You know the rules. I've got my stop clock here. 5 minutes, not a second more.
It is a stop watch as
Stop
opposed to a
watch,
stop clock,
okay,
because
so
that would be a lot
technical,
bigger.
that's absolutely true.
Well, let's be technical.
Not a second more, not a second less. 5 minutes, you ready?
Okay, yep.
Okay, Rory Bremner, the time starts now.
I couldn't get a cup of coffee, could I?
No, come on, be serious.
Right.
You're one of the country's favourite impressionists, have been for years. Who have you most enjoyed taking off over the years?
I always used to enjoy Bill Clinton because he was great fun, and you had a license to be a bit naughty, being Bill Clinton. And George Bush, of course, was a dream, for years. And when he goes, I believe it'll be the end of an era, when he goes. I happen to believe it was a great era, one of the greatest eras in the history of American politics. But a lot of great characters. There seem to be fewer around, even the cabinet. I'm sure Gordon Brown doesn't know who half the people in the cabinet are. He must walk in. He probably recognises Alistair Darling. Hi, Alistair. And then he looks around and thinks, who the hell are you? You got the women, Ruth Kelly and Harriet Harman, and Ruth's leaving, and Hillary Benn, but she's a bloke. I don't know.
If we go back to America, Sarah Palin, huge headlines with the satirists. What do you make of Tina Fey's impression?
Oh, fantastic. I can't tell them apart. I don't know which one's Tina Fey and which one's Sarah Palin, but she's a great lady, Sarah Palin, let's face it, the thing is, if we're going to have a new Cold War with Russia, you want to have someone who knows what it's like when it's really cold, you know what I'm saying? And, no, she's exciting.
Are you working on your Obama?
I am. I was watching the debate the other night. My Lord, God, it was boring. Very, very boring. And they spent 15 minutes to talk about, let's talk about Joe the plumber. Let's talk about Joe the plumber. And Obama said, I'd rather talk about my friend Warren Buffett. And so it's going to be interesting to see, what happens.
Who's going to win, do you think?
Oh, Obama, surely. Unless there's an October surprise.
Now, with the credit
or
crunch,
November surprise.
You've become a bit of an expert on the economy.
What?
If you had to describe...
They don't know what they're doing.
That's true. If you had to describe, though, Rory, the banking crisis in a sentence or two, how would you put it?
Oh, God. I mean, we're in a strange world now, because, when the bank manager rings you up about a loan now, you don't know whether you're borrowing money from him or he's borrowing money from you. But we're in uncharted territory. But global, it's a global problem, and global problems require Scottish solutions. I suppose, in a nutshell, what we've got is this crazy situation over the last 5 years, 10 years, where, banks, in the way that you and I understand it, you go to the hole in the wall and take some money out, or you put checks in, or this and that and the other. And that's, as we understand it, but that's now bolted on to this huge casino, and the guys are going in and flinging huge amounts of money in the casino using our banks, I say our banks, but using the banks as collateral for that, and now it's sort of all gone haywire. But it's the lending, that's the thing. As Robert Peston, I'm obsessed with Robert Peston.
You're doing a series yourself on it, aren't you?
We're doing, absolutely, on Channel 4 in November. We're doing a series, and it's meant a lot of television watching. It's meant a lot of Robert Peston. I've turned into, I'm reading my children's stories at night, and I turn into him. I go, and around the corner of the cucumber frame came Mr. McGregor with a hoe and with some radishes and with $2 trillion of credit default swaps.
Now, I've got to ask you, Rory, that was very good. You have spent a lot of time in your life, I imagine, talking to yourself. I remember, you're a big cricket fan, I remember spotting you at Lord's, talking to yourself. How many hours a day do you spend talking to yourself, and has it ever created embarrassing situations for you?
I do. I practice. I don't sort of practice looking into a mirror, but I play with the voices in my head. But when I think that was a cricket match, wasn't it?
It was cricket. You're a big cricket fan, aren't you?
I do. I love cricket, and spend a lot of time. I suppose you just got to rehearse voices in your head. I hear voices in my head, and that's a career. If I took that the wrong way, I would be paranoid schizophrenic.
Stanford 2020 coming up?
Yes, indeed. I think that as a cricket fan, I'm a great believer in that. But I think that would be the way to solve the world's economic problem. I think if the banks were to take on the government in a big game of cricket, with £20 billion of liquidity as a prize for the winner. Or, in fact, the loser. Because I think the loser gets $20 billion in this new world.
I'm going to rush you now because we're running out of time. What one thing... you were born in Scotland, but you were raised in England. Are you a proud Scot?
Definitely, absolutely.
What one thing about Britain as a whole are you proudest of, or do you think is the best thing about Britain?
A sense of humour.
And if you could change one thing about Britain, I'm going to make it harder for you. You can't change the weather.
I can't change the weather. Oh, what can I change?
Okay, moving on. Biggest
traffic.
The traffic. Okay. Biggest burning ambition.
To live to be 125.
Impressive. What would you like your epitaph to be?
Rory who?
And who are you most excited about taking off over the next few months?
I'm excited about Obama, and I'm excited about Boris Johnson. I mean, all these people in London. I mean, they love a joke. They love a joke in Britain, and now they've got one as mayor of London. Very, very exciting. It's going to be exciting.
Okay, Rory Bremner, the time is up. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you.